Good afternoon. I hope lunch was great. Love the chips. I'm going to get my cake when I'm done while we're talking. Oh, it was good. Thanks, Bob. Bob already got the cake. Welcome to this year's State of the University gathering. It's a new day, and here we are all together. Okay, so it's official. Last night the electricity went out in the house, and for about three and a half hours I was in total panic because I was wondering how much I'd saved on the PowerPoint before the electricity went down. But Lord, heaven knows, it came back on around midnight and I was able to finish and then go to bed. So that was a good thing. So thank you everybody for coming today. I appreciate you all turning out to hear about what we've been up to and and our plans for going forward. You may wonder what I've been doing since I arrived in early July, and I have a picture demonstrating what that is. So we are almost settled into the house, and some of you who were kind enough to come down for the ice cream social saw that the first floor was ready for prime time, but you've not been up to where we sleep. So not quite as bad as this, but there's one room with all this stuff left in it. So we're feeling settled in and welcomed, and all of you who've sent me notes and come to visit us, thank you. You've been very gracious about making time to talk to me about university initiatives, university concerns, your ideas for going forward, and that has been very helpful to me. So the other thing that I've been doing besides unpacking and trying to get my driver's license and all those other things is scouting around on campus. You may have seen me coming in and out of buildings. Some of you have dropped everything when you've seen me walking through and asked if I'd like a tour. That was great. I mean, very, very helpful. Some of you just said hi and talked for a little bit. Many of you have invited me to departmental and program area meetings. I've met with quite a few people from all the different areas across campus. The guys in the boiler room were really helpful. They showed me where some of the piping was, made me look down some scary corners. And also I heard some pretty frightening ghost stories as I walked around campus and went into Hart Chapel. But I've been trying to also gain clarity on what's important to us as a campus community. And slowly but surely, things are beginning to come to clear vision for me. They're coming to refinement. I appreciate that you've been very patient. As I've scouted around the buildings, talked to people about our history, gone through archival information, in the library, online, all these different things that people have shared with me, plenty of books, plenty of old university binders and albums. It's been very, very helpful. This was a mural that's still hanging in Moore Hall, and it captures quite a bit of our past. We've done great things here at Clarion. I cannot tell you how proud I am to be the 17th president of this campus. It's just, it's a good place filled with good people who are doing a lot of the right things. And ultimately, everyone I meet tells me they're here for the students. They're here for the students, and they love working and helping them graduate. So now we go forward. This is Tippin. The tip of Tippin. And I was standing down there taking pictures, trying to get the guys to wave at me, but they were very, very dutiful on their work. They were not going to be distracted. But our future is a good one. We have a clear mission going forward. We're going to clarify and refine it even more. And this year, all the different departments and programs have done great work. In admissions and with David Dolan's crew and his team, these are all the high school visits that they've done this year. 150 college fairs. They've been to lots of different states and counties. But when I was at the planetarium the other night for the show, I snagged this picture, and I thought it went nicely with this. The distance would have been 1.5 times around the Earth, or nearly 6 times around the moon, in terms of the traveling that they did to try to garner traditional students coming to our campus. We've had many visitors, and we've also sent out many traditional mailings and emails. And depending on whether you're a Gen X, a Gen Z, a Gen I, there's so many different things. Depending on who you are, you may or may not look at traditional email, and now we're calling it traditional email and traditional postage. But these generations look at different things, so we're trying lots of different ways to get the word out about our programs and the great work that we do here. And we're trying some new social media kinds of things as well, which I'll address in a few minutes. This year, we've brought in 733 new freshmen. The GPA is the highest it's been in 14 years. The SAT scores are also the highest in 10 years. So our students seem to be a little bit more college ready. 72% have carried GPAs greater than 3.1, and 24% ranked in the top 20% of their high school. That's good news. That means they're ready to engage in the work of being a college student. However, we also have students who are here because we're an Access University who will also need some additional support. Once they're here, even if they're not quite ready for prime time, we want to do what we can so that they can graduate and have a transformed life. Financial services and scholarships were very, very busy this year. 3 million in tuition scholarships were awarded, and we processed many applications. We have new Gen scholarship portal for applications, so we're trying to make things easier for our students and their families. And 26.2 incoming FIDIAC students, or first-time in college students, are first-generation students. We have one of the highest first-gen students populations in the PASHE system, indeed in the Northeast. Both my husband and I, Bob and I, were first-generation college students. This has always been a population that has resonated and near and dear to our hearts. So that's a little bit about our students. Major financial service projects going on this year: TouchNet Marketplace, TouchNet Bill and Recovery Select, and Campus Logic. These are all ways that we need to give our students and their families better access and better service. So it's not like we're wasting money. We are investing in connecting with our students to make it easier for them. Here's the challenge. We are starting a campaign. David Dollins and the entire President's Executive Council, along with deans and leaders across campus, have been communicating with you about our development of our strategic enrollment plan, or what's called in the past SEM, Strategic Enrollment Management. This is something that is all of our responsibility. We all need to step up and do this. It's so important for us to capture and keep and support our students going forward. So you'll be seeing more of this year because it's part of some of the major priorities that we've got. I was in the cafeteria, the Eagle Commons the other day, and this is a quote from one of our fine individuals who works there. And Lo said, there are no stupid questions. She showed me the area where she works. She tries to educate all the students about what they can eat, how they can be vegan, what foods are not going to cause them a wheat allergy. And she just walks there and she said, I've been here 30 some odd years, and my job is to teach the students about food. I was really blown away. I thought that was just perfect. We're all educators. So we're going to move our needle in terms of retention. Right now we're hovering between 72 and 73%. A little down from last year, just a tad, not much, almost even, but we can do better. And we all can put our heads together and our hearts together to do that. I've also been, so 80%, real simple slide. That's where we want to go. That's where we want to be. Will we get there next year? No. Will we eke up there a little bit? Darn tootin', yes. So good, that's our plan. So I've also been checking on what the faculty have been doing as I've been hovering around buildings and walking through. And they've been pretty busy too. We've gotten some rankings and some recognitions this year for our online programs, bachelor's, nursing graduate, graduate in business, MBA programs, but also we've had some programs reaccredited. We have the most niche accreditations than I have ever seen, and I thought I had a lot in my last university. But we have them here, and though it may not mean a lot to a lot of people, it means a lot to us, because we know that by peer review, we are on par and excel across national standards. And that's a bragging point that maybe because we're kind of in that whole Midwestern still, even though it's kind of Pennsylvania's Northeast, we don't like to brag. But I have to tell you, I will brag for you. I will be the chief storyteller of this university. That's my job. And we have, I'm not going to read it. You can look at all of the accreditations and the advanced accreditations and the recognitions, but they hit every single college. We have 10 new tenure-track faculty joining us this year, 13 faculty returning from sabbaticals, and 11 going on. Now, I still, if you look at my face when I'm talking about sabbaticals, I kind of get that glow, that memory of what it was like to be on a sabbatical, because it's a reinvestment in your education, your research, and your service to give back to the campus so that faculty come back refreshed and on fire. And it works. It really does. That's what got me to be a full professor. I was able to go on my sabbatical, figure out what I was going to write and research about, and I was so grateful for that time to invest. The university invested in me so I could go back and invest with my students. We have a visiting scholar this year from China. Our faculty garnered quite a few, and staff garnered quite a few external grants that came back to the institution, and we also awarded quite a bit of funding in internal grants. Our faculty in arts, education, and sciences have been quite prolific in terms of their publications this year, and that takes a lot of time and effort. Always having something in the pipeline, dealing with all those rejections, which I look as an opportunity to learn about critical feedback. But I've had more papers rejected than I've had accepted, because you just have to keep plugging along. We have several new graduate certificates in media management and health management, in social media and health communications, and also our behavior analyst and also the behavior analyst assistant certificate. So we have really been launching these things. We are cutting edge and just need to get the word out a little bit more about these things. Of the 77 graduates who responded, they are employed or in volunteer or military service or gaining their continued education. We also have the only Skills for Teacher Leaders endorsement in the state of Pennsylvania. So kudos, right? It's a good thing. Clarion students earned several different awards this year in business and respiratory care, and then of course one of our students had her book published, well, her book selected as a finalist for the Student Treasures National Book Challenge. So I know that some wonderful faculty member worked with that student on that project, or several faculty and staff. 100% of our math education majors receive job offers. Math and science is very important, along with the arts. Our students need to have more math and science so that they can enjoy and flourish, and therefore the arts become more meaningful to them. So there's a nice synergy with that. I applaud the faculty for completing the race and equity training. And also, our students are placing in the financial literacy competition. And also, we're being asked to pilot other projects, including our library, and we're being asked to reach out for our ASN program with other counties. And of course, one of the first things that hit my wire this summer when I got here was the Clarion University Law Journal was launched. Kudos. We have two people, Yasara and Jocelyn, who were accepted on Fulbrights. Are they here? It's really quite an honor to be accepted on a Fulbright. And I think for many, many years we didn't have individuals, and now we have two. Very good. Some of our faculty have been nominated for their work with the Exceptional Children Council, and also Exceptional Children and Innovation kudos go to Rick. So Erin, Aubrey, Yasser, Jocelyn, Rick, Jeff, and Abigail have all reached out and demonstrated excellence and were recognized for that. I appreciate that all of us, I've seen these posted everywhere across campus, and I read it and I'm thinking to myself, this is great. We're all committed to the progress of our students. We all know that it's part of what we do. In the student services area and the student support services, look at the amount of wellness visits we had to the student center. Wellness student visits, and also mental health and health education. These are all the things we know our students are coming here with more and more concerns, especially related to health, nutrition, and anxiety. And so this is not just fluff. This is a very serious thing. Our students really are coming to classes. Some of them have a great deal of food insecurity and kind of wonder, can they get their meds filled? Do they have what they need? Can they sleep before they go to classes? All of those things. So the more we can do with prevention and keeping them balanced and healthy, the better they will be in terms of retaining being through school. They also did some redesigning of some of the new student programs with a major focus and turnaround on student success. So it's been quite a busy year. Also, I went to a wonderful presentation the other night about all of our students who were involved in RSOs and different kinds of initiatives on campus. This was the Relay to Life. It was over in one of the meeting rooms on Main. And quite a few of the students showed up for it. Their passion, and we lead in the state every year on this Relay for Life, with the exception of Penn State, which has more students and more money and more resources. So our students do this, and percentage-wise, I bet we actually, if you did it percentage-wise in terms of what we raised, I'm pretty sure that we rock it. So a lot of our students join RSOs, registered student organizations, one or more, and the research is pretty helpful on this. If they're connected to campus, whatever way we can connect our students, they stay. So we're doing more work. This is a good statistic. They also awarded the students themselves book scholarships for our students. Our student athletes, the GPA is quite high. Greek life as well. Our community assistants are helpers and scholars. And also there were 3 trips this year where the students went out to help observe and assist in the areas of hunger, disaster response, and foster care. These are all issues that are very relevant to the western part of the state. Quite a few students participated in leadership programs, and the UAB, as I toured there the other day, that they are very, very lucky on this campus to have a facility that is so beautiful and that does so many things and provides space for students to do the work of being engaged in the life of a university and skills that they will take up going forward. So athletics web broadcast garnered over 24,000 viewers this year. We have winners, our volleyball team, our women's swimming, men's swimming, also diving. And we've won all kinds of awards this past year. I've been to quite a few of the games so far. We are looking to have a pretty good year as well. Our wrestling sent 4 competitors to NCAA championships and posted the first winning dual match season since 2003. So let's give it a hands for our and what I've been so pleased about is how supportive everyone is about athletics. We know that athletics, students who are involved in athletics because they love it, they refine their skills, they hone and they master things, but they also stay in school longer and graduate in more timely ways. So the fact that we have that love for athletics here is one of our major strengths, and it helps the kids in our region. That's how they very often will connect with us here as a campus. Financially, this year, basically, we did a break even. We had a positive 2018 year-end cash position this year. This is the first time since fiscal year 2012. We're not out of the woods. We're still on a diet. We're going to have to be very strategic about how we invest in our future and what programs and initiatives we choose to support, but we are in the right direction. And I thank all of you for your frugality and your care, because every dollar that we are able to redirect to something that is a concern to our campus is a dollar not misspent. So, and I know it takes a lot of time and energy, and it's not easy to be on a financial diet, but we're doing the right stuff. We will continue to be impacted by challenges. A reduction of our traditional undergraduate enrollment will be with us for years to come. And also some of the cost pressures around benefits and compensation will also be with us. So it's a reality, and we'll just have to work with that. Knowing that, I think most of you have read that the enrollment management team is now reporting directly to the president as we focus on how important that particular piece is this year. David Dollins has also expressed, and all of his team have expressed, how grateful they are that many of you have reached out to him and helped with ideas, initiatives, flexibility, rolling your sleeves up to work together. So that's been very helpful. We will continue to work on retention as one of the major initiatives, because if you can keep the students, your retention never drops. So year after year, once if it's at 70, 72, it's never really going to get that much higher. But if we can keep them, we will have more students to graduate. And that'll be that's an easy fix on keeping tuition dollars at the university. We will be working on innovative programming, so many of you have great ideas as I've gone to the different departments and talked to you, so you've got some, and also our graduate and our non-traditional programming, which is great because Clarion leads. We have led this region in a long time. We'll dust off some things and keep pursuing that. Marketing and communication. 374 plus million earned print and online impressions. We've got 79 television and quite a few editorial reviews by our colleagues here on campus, some staff, some faculty, experts everywhere. They've been able to get out there and speak, and that's been very helpful about getting the word out about Clarion. We are bumping up our social presence, our social media presence in the area of LinkedIn and Facebook, and that varies with the age population. Some like Facebook, some are onto LinkedIn, and it all is different. Snapchat's the big hot thing right now, and who knows, but it always changes. But we're keeping ahead of that. And also, we performed about maybe 22% better than the national average in terms of responses. We've increased our reach by almost 50%, and we've increased our clicks. We've decreased the cost per click, and we've increased our impressions. So basically what we want people to do is come in, click, get to where they need to find, and stay on our site, and then fill out applications and other things. We want not them to click and bounce, want them to click and stay. Fundraising, alumni relations and fundraising. Now, fundraising and friend-raising are two things that I was hired to do, well, one thing, it's really the same thing I was hired to do. But if you notice, I like to have fun. So I'm going to look at that, put the fun in fundraising, because we really need to have a good time and show off what we do here. You know, fundraising, people want to give us money for our dreams and their dreams when there's a good match. We have to have a good time with that. Why would you give money to people who are sourpusses? You want people to be excited about the things that you're doing. So we're going to have some fun with it. You'll see some fun things going on this year. We have 3 new chapters. We've provided, oh, this was a big hit. The teacher survival kits started out kind of a small number, and then it grew and grew and grew. So we'll see how that goes next year. And also this year we had a record high. We raised $2,450,455. Okay, do I want to say that again? That was a lot of money. But I wasn't here. That was all you're doing. So you did a great job, and we're hoping that we get to do that again this coming year, and then some more. And then we're also going to be, we started having a lot of conversations only in the last 2 months about jump-starting our comprehensive campaign for our university, which will probably roll out next year. And in that, what Jim Geiger and his team will be doing, working with the PEC, but also with all of you across campus and in the community, to find out what our biggest needs are, our biggest initiatives are, our innovations, where we want to go next. When the Board of Governors, and that was a really scary meeting, I walked into this meeting in Harrisburg with about 25 people sitting all around a big table, and realizing that the interview on campus was as rough as that was really scary. At the end of it, I prevailed and managed to get a call when I was on the plane. They offered me the position like I was only gone out of about 2 hours. It was very exciting. And I went, wow. And I was thrilled. I had to call my husband, just great. But this is what they told me I have to do. 3 things. Work on enrollment, work on fundraising, and work on community partnerships. And partnerships that are financially beneficial to all parties. So, enrollment. The big piece this year we're going to focus on is retention. We can get a lot of kids in the door. There's only so many in this part of the world, but we got to keep them. It's not good to have that constant churn of 50 new kids, but they leave. So we want to make sure our enrollment, another piece of enrollment retention, is strong programs, both academic support and a strong campus that is welcoming. So you see some weeding going on campus because, criticizing or not, that's what people see when they come to campus. As a parent, my question would be, gee, if they're not weeding, what else aren't they doing? So that's just a real simple fix, and we're working on that. You see people out there pulling weeds like crazy. So that's a good thing. But enrollment is good programs. Students come to study here because of the faculty that they will work with, the kinds of costs of living that they will get, the experience in athletics, and also the experience with associations and the lifelong friends that they will make. We provide that here, so we need to talk about it a little bit more and do it. Fundraising. In addition to the comprehensive campaign, which is about a year away, this year we're launching a mini campaign for athletics. The focus on athletics is real. It's necessary. We do not give our students enough resources for the athletic scholarships. The thing that's great about athletics is it reaches all of our children, all of our students, no matter what background they come from, no matter what their majors are, and it gives them an opportunity to be successful. So it's a pretty wide spread of access. And then I will be asking a lot of people for money. So that's another thing. And then partnerships. Many of you already have these amazing partnerships out in the community. I came to a presentation this summer that was put on by the science faculty, and it was the honors program and the students who were coming in from high school. And they were out doing research in the wetlands, in the forests, on fish, on birds, on bugs, on frogs, on all kinds of things. The faculty who've run that program have amazing partnerships with forestry and the hatcheries and all of those places. So we have those things going on. We just need to build on them and capitalize on them a little bit more. So that's great. And I noticed that in 2012 was the last time we actually did a strategic plan here, and it was launched in 2013, and then it kind of went fizzle. And it's on a shelf. Some things were done, some things weren't. So we're not going to do strategic planning. We're going to do an action plan. We're going to find our true north, where we want to go in the next 3 years. What is it we need to do to stabilize what we're doing and to build in our future? So we're going to take stock. We're going to make 2 to 3 year plans. We are going to select committee members and indeed, most likely, subcommittee members. And we have 2 co-chairs, the Dean of the Library and Chair Adam Roberts. They've both agreed to co-chair this. We will be going through the Faculty Senate to find faculty engagement, and we will be going through other venues to get individuals involved in this process. Students will be involved, our constituents in the public, trustees, foundation. We need to assess, if we don't know where we're going, anywhere will do. So we need to figure that out together as a collective campus community. This is very critical to our future. We're at a point, it's pivotal. We do a few right things the next couple of years, we're going to be in great shape. So that's the process. More of that will unfold. I'm meeting with Terry and Adam this next coming week, and then you'll start to hear more about that. So this will be an investment in time for our future, and I appreciate your help and your ideas on this. We will be starting a permanent search for a Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Pam has graciously stepped in as interim this year. We have all talked about how important it is to stabilize leadership and get someone in that position permanently. The search will commence this fall. We have a protocol in place, I believe, for doing that. And we will welcome internal and external applicants, and the targeted date will be soon. Permanent Dean for the College of Arts, Education, and Sciences. The search will commence again, develop a committee, and launch. Internal and external applicants are welcome. So, got a lot to do. I need your help. I cannot do this by myself. I work hard, I will continue to work hard, but it really does take all of us to do this. And I have heard so many people say to me in the last few weeks, we're with you. We're going to go forward. Anything you need. I need a lot. We need a lot. But we're going to do it. But I need your help. Because it does take a full campus for us to do all the things that we need to do. It takes every one of us, every single one of us. There's no one in this room who's not important and could impact the future of our campus, our campuses, our life. There's no greater commitment and no greater calling, I believe, than to be responsible for educating a region and helping it thrive. It's a great gift, and it's a daunting responsibility. But it's one I think we've all stepped up to and are willing to do, that's why we're here. So we're going to, I'm also kind of a cartoon person, so you'll learn that about me. If it's a good Pixar movie, I'm ready to go. We will go onward and we will go upward. We have so much to build upon. It's a very, very great new day for us. We have a wonderful past and we have a great future. Thank you. if you have ideas and you have suggestions and questions, please email me directly, and I'll be glad to get back with you. Thank you.